Character select.
Right, so this is Granblue Fantasy Versus. Another one of my kind of favourite, recently acquired anime-style fighting games. I will, guess, just pick character. I'll just go with the main character.
Belial. Port Breeze.
I'll go ahead and just start up a training mode thing so I can show off how the art style works.
Gran versus Belial.
Just gotta give it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it should already be pretty clear that they
Remember
do
your
have
training.
cell shading again, which is again something that's worth taking note of for my project. But they do also make use of the inverted hull method for producing the outline.
Remember your training.
Yeah, I guess there's kind of a future thing for when I get to potentially animating, probably after this FMP. Something that is probably pretty noticeable is the fact that with the animations it does kind of look a bit kind of like some of the frames from the animations are removed, which is actually something that's done on purpose in order to kind of make the animations look more like they are from an anime. Because with most animes, the kind of movement does look kind of like it's done like a frame at a time instead of just like flowing naturally as if it's a kind of real life movement. So in order to kind of replicate that kind of movement, they remove some of the frames from the animations in this game. But yeah, the main focus for this is the art style. So yeah, with this, they did actually go into quite a significant amount of detail with textures, but they do also have quite relatively detailed models as well, so it's kind of a mixture of the two. Like, especially with armor pieces, you can see kind of tints on them, you can see the brighter areas that have been painted on, you can see kind of line work that does intricate details and scrapes and scratches on them. You can also see line work in the trousers, see creases, and so the cell shading has kind of been altered in a way so that the armor actually has a bit more of a shine to it. But yeah, I think you can really see a kind of like a very bright color palette going on again, and also a very kind of bright tone. And I think that you can also get a really good kind of look at how they're able to kind of play around with the tone and colours when you move on to like their supers. And you can also just really see where they put a lot of effort into this game.
Let's finish this.
My name is so the kind of anime style applied to non-human characters like that dragon.
How was that?
So,
I like being on top.
Great!
You like being on top, huh?
and also with Belial over here, this guy, you can also see kind of intricate kind of texture details with the glasses, and Also, a lot of kind of use of gradients for the kind of fur that he has wrapped around him, and how also kind of with the rigging process they kind of gave a lot of his outfit kind of free movement. And also with Bran, the character I'm currently using, you can also see a significant amount of movement with his hair. I'm guessing they probably maybe did some sort of use of a cloth modifier on it to give it some more movement, and I believe you can also see a lot of movement going on with the hood that Bran also has. So with this game, kind of, in addition to having kind of high quality models and high quality textures, they also made a lot of use of kind of certain modifiers like the cloth modifier to kind of really make the character's model kind of come to life in a much more kind of mobile fashion, I guess. Because like having like pretty much all of his clothing does kind of flutter around as if it's made of a real material, a real cloth material, and his yeah, like the hair, and also with the scabbard on his back also has a lot of movement for it. So the ribbons and other bits of cloth that are connected to his belt buckle. So yeah, with these models, there's also so in addition to having high quality models, they also kind of have a lot of high quality rigs. And yeah, rigging is also going to be a thing that I'm going to be focusing on. So yeah, that's definitely a good example to have access to. And I guess like with the animations that they have, you can really kind of show how in-depth the rigs are. Like with this move, you can see extension of his fingers, with his hand that he throws back. You've got a lot of kind of rotation going on.
You're wide open.
Yeah, a lot of kind of cool particle effects and textures that really kind of work together to really make the supers pop. And I believe that I'm gonna have to kind of switch characters for this. But they do also kind of make use of textures during supers, so they actually kind of change the textures of the characters to add to the supers. Like, Belial, the character I was just kind of up against, is actually the prime example of that, so I'll go ahead and play as him, probably pick someone else.
Narmaya.
With Narmaya, she's kind of one of my mains. Also a quick kind of example of a different kind of texture thing is like, because it's a common thing to be able to have different color schemes that you can change, like with these kinds of games, and with Narmaya especially, you can really see a kind of the areas that they decided to make glow for certain things. Like with this one, her horns glow gold, and kind of the outlines of some of her outfit pieces glow gold. And with this one, she's got glowing blue hair and glowing blue outlines for her jacket and boot, all of that stuff. So it's a cool little feature that they add. Because like in most fighting games that I've played, the main thing they do is just change the color schemes for alternate options. But yeah, in this case they add an extra feature where some of the outfits have their own kind of special glow to them to really kind of make them look kind of like a higher tier than the kind of default colors. One other feature is that you can actually also kind of pick you can also kind of choose different variations of certain components of the character. Like with Narmaya, you can choose what kind of sword she has, and with Belial here, you can actually change the glasses if you want. I'll probably show that a bit. I'll probably show that after I kind of show what I was talking about before with like a change in texture for a super. So and also, this character also has a kind of a slight change in their model, so because he's a kind of demon character, like his supers involve him kind of growing wings on his back, so I should be able to show that.
The final chapters are
There he is.
So our creator will perish!
Additional part of his model for that super, and this next super will show the wings again. It'll also show a change in his texture where a kind of demonic tattoo kind of design appears on his body.
You're getting on my nerves.
Demonic symbols all over his body.
Like to see more.
Anagenesis! Excellent!
Okay, so and actually one other thing I'll quickly cover is kind of especially like with Narmaya, especially with the glowing hair, you can really see the kind of hand-drawn shading in the hair, like where they use a kind of line work and kind of dominantly triangular shapes to show the different sections of her hair, which is actually a very common kind of way of doing shading in anime, where you have relatively kind of triangular shaped shading. And with Belial, my character, you can also see a lot of kind of detail in his hair with the line work and the brighter areas being hand drawn. So yeah, that's definitely something that's worth considering for my character models, especially for doing the details for their hair. So yeah, I'll quickly go back into character select and show the thing with the ability to actually change certain outfit or weapon related components. And
Character select.
Pretty much cover what I wanted to go for. So just like Belial again. Then yeah, that's what this thing is. So you should be able to see that the glasses are changing. Yeah, and with the Narmaya, you can change her sword. I tend to like this one because of the starry pattern it has on the blade. And with Uel, you can also, she's got pretty much more noticeable weapon changes.
Percival.
Yeah, that pretty much covers what I wanted to go over. Yeah, much more detailed models, much more detailed textures, significantly more detail with like the hair and clothing details, and also going into some kind of areas of animation that will be helpful if there's time, because at the end of the project I'd like to have a go at it, but odds are I'll probably be doing it after the FMP. But either way, it's worth taking note of now as a kind of future reference. Okay, so I'll be moving on to the final game I'll be going over, which is the Fairy Tail JRPG game that was released in 2020. I'll go ahead and load that up.